Are we recording? Okay. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our International Education Week for 2021. Today, we are joining Dr. Scott Walker. Dr. Scott Walker is a professor and coordinator of geography and environmental sustainability at Northwest Vista. He has taught at Northwest Vista since 2007, and then he's an international education and academic partnership. He has taken students to Spain and Morocco and has taught in Colombia at the Universidad La Salle. He has also consulted on higher education development with Ho Chi Minh University in Vietnam, as well as with various colleges in Mexico. Additionally, Dr. Walker was a consultant for the development issues for the state of government and non-governmental organizations across Mexico, and has earned academic fellowships for his work in India, Palestine, Honduras, and Spain. Dr. Walker has advised on grants with Alfred Coyle, member of the working group for internationalization. Today, he is doing a presentation on an adventure science international field experience. And the session is on hydrology and ecosystem studies. Welcome, Dr. Scott Walker. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks, Maria. Thanks for that long introduction. Where'd you get all that?
It's your little bio.
Is it really?
Sorry.
Wow. There's things in there that I forgot about, like working in Vietnam. Well, hello, everybody. And my one student, Carla, who's in my environmental science 2 class right now, and apparently is in Anna Aguirre's anthropology class at this moment, a face-to-face class. So she can't convince him to put me on the screen. So I'll go and start talking as if I had a room full of students. And since I'm host, I think Alicia's co-host. Alicia, would you watch the participants? They were,
sure.
As soon as I share my screen, I think it's going to disappear.
Okay, I actually enabled the waiting room so people can just come in. Okay,
good. All right, so let me share this and show you all. Right, screen up. And oh, everybody disappeared again. Okay. This is really unusual on my end. For some reason, I can't see anybody anymore.
We have been having that issue. I think it's a Zoom problem.
Well, as long as you can see the presentation, if you can see it, somebody say yes. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, we can see that.
Well, I'll sit here and talk to my blank computer screen camera, and it's over here, so I'll look at it over here. Anyway, what I want to talk about is what I'm calling adventure science. I got this name from there's a group, a volunteer group called Adventure Scientists, and it's a nonprofit organization based out of Montana that it's really citizen science where people will go out and do things for a project. So for example, I went out to Big Bend National Park over the summer, and it was like 110, 112 degrees, and collected water samples for the Wild and Scenic River, which runs through Big Bend National Park. And then I went to New Mexico and collected some more water samples from the Rio Grande up there. And then I sent all that data to them, and there are people all across the country doing this. And we send it to them, and they just get this large collection of data that no one else could get otherwise. And I did it with tree samples on black walnut just recently in October in East Texas as well. So I got the name Adventure Science from that because it's going out and doing science. And then combining that with our international field experience, this is what we have in the picture here is a group of us who went to Morocco in 2018 on our first adventure science study abroad, or I call them field study abroad sometime. So we're not really in a city doing tourist activities. We're out getting dirty, getting wet, collecting data, analyzing those data, and reporting those data. So we're actually doing science somewhere else, overseas somewhere. Okay, so typical science class has a lab, right? Looks like this. You're indoors. You're all suited up. You got your goggles on. You got your gloves on. And you got all the machines around you. And if you want to be an indoor chemist, that's fine. That's good. You got to do your science somewhere. Often, though, these are lab-oriented sciences. They're running off of a lab manual, and you're kind of doing step by step and step by step. But you don't really have a lot of autonomy to do your own thing or experiment outside of the packaged experience. And here's another one. This is a physics lab where, again, it's kind of a prepackaged lab, and you can play around with it a little bit, but you're usually filling out some kind of worksheet or something like that. And then often the labs have a classroom component associated with them, and they sometimes look like this. So it's just kind of a, maybe that, what did, was it in Charlie Brown, the adults always talked, you know, like wah, 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 wah. Now, I'm not saying everybody's science classes are this way, but there are some. I had some when I was in college, definitely. In our situation, though, we don't just study environmental science, we do environmental science. And it looks more like this. So our adventure science, if you will, we're going to be standing, you know, knee deep in a river, doing water testing. In this case, they're testing the flow and volume of the river for in Morocco for the local people there. And it also looks like this, same place. This is one of, I think, 5 spots where we did the water flow measurement. And we were doing them in the same 5 spots that a hydrologist from Montana, a professional hydrologist who owns his own company, he's a hydrology engineer. He did the same sampling in the same locations, the same way we're doing them. So we're basically replicating the science that somebody already did. And then we're going to go back in August of 2022, and we're going to do it again. Same places, same flow measurements, and we're going to see if it's changed. Except in August, we're going to take local students from Morocco with us and see if we can teach them a little science while they're just basically going to join our class, kind of they're high school students. Let's see. So some of the other things we did, this is an igurum we're on top of. This is the valley out behind us. You can see the river down here at the bottom. We're up several stories high in a fortified granary. We'll see an outside view of it in just a minute. And we also took a trek, a hiking trek, walking trek up further up this creek. This is what it looks like 6 miles up creek, and then down creek, you know, it's much wider. And this is what a classroom looks like for us. So you saw the snoozing students in the other science lecture. Well, we don't really do lecture, but it's participatory, and we kind of do it wherever we are at the time when it's time to do it. So here is an example on this side, on the left. We're in the Amsterdam airport during a 5-hour layover, and we just got together to discuss what we had been doing. I gave assignments that people were doing in the airport in Atlanta while we laid over there, and then we flew over to Amsterdam, and we had a 5-hour layover there, and or maybe it was 4. But anyway, we spent some time talking about the stuff that we had done in Atlanta. By the time you got to Amsterdam, you had it all done. And then after, I don't know, maybe 45 minutes of class, if you will, then students were able to scatter and go get food and take naps and do whatever they wanted to do. This one here is, Carla, there's Adam right there. This is in the van going out to the high Atlas Mountains from Marrakesh. So Adam was conducting his class in the van while we're going down the road. So there's not a lot of sitting around snoozing. There's no time for it. Once we got to up into the mountains, this is some of our accommodations. It's the common room in one of our gîtes. A gîte is a guest house. It's a French word for a guest house. And Morocco being a former French colony, they still speak French or use French words. So here we're having class. There's Adam again teaching class. Over here, we're on the top floor of our Marrakesh Riad. A Riad is a hotel, excuse me, a hotel with an open interior. And the students are in the breakfast area is on the top floor. So what you can't see outside this window because it's so bright is out over the entire city of Marrakesh. So there's us having some breakfast with, she's got some coffee there and I think some orange juice or whatever. And they're doing some of their activities for the day before we go set out to do something else. I think we were gonna go bike ride around Marrakesh this particular day. Also, it looks like this for the service learning component, which is part of what we do. We go to schools, local schools, and we teach the students. And some of the students can speak English pretty well. They speak French, Arabic, some English, and the local language called Tamilzik. So they're multilingual. And here is us sitting at the tables doing map activities with them. They're kind of pre-planned, so you don't have to, know a lot about what you're teaching. It's mostly worksheet type thing. But for the kids, it's changes up their day, and it also gives them an opportunity to practice their English. There's an education course going with us in the fall, and they will actually be doing English as a second language teaching. Okay, in addition to the science work, when we're in Morocco, we're doing some of the adventure part of the activities, or some of the fun part of the activities. There's a night market, and you can see it here on this. We stopped to check out the monkeys at a waterfall, Riad waterfall. These students are actually having fun here, and these students they found a guitar somewhere, and this student was able to play guitar, and they're walking down the road singing. So there's some fun to be had. It's not all work and no play. There's a lot of things to do. So the environment in which we were staying is mountainous. You can see this valley here is green. There's the river again. This is one of the tallest mountains in the area. And here's the Ighirim we were on top of earlier from the side. These are 950-year-old fortified granaries. They're built kind of like the equivalent of adobe that you would find in the southwestern United States. It's stacked adobe blocks. And on the interior, there are little rooms, and each family in the community had a room, and they would put their grains in there that they harvested, and then they would store them, and it's fortified, where you can see the little slits in the walls. You can't, climb up and get into it to steal the grain. And they're still there today. And part of what the group that hosts us does is they rebuild these Ighirims that are starting to fall apart now. Some other local pictures. Here's the woman who, there's a tapestry over my shoulder back here on the side, this brown and white one, and this woman made it. She weaves, and she also was helping in the kitchen where we stayed. This is at the local market. They have all these bright colored yarns that they bring in for the local market. And here's just another shot of the community where we're staying. It looks very much like an American Indian Pueblo type community. It's strikingly similar how similar they are to American Indian Pueblos. More on where we're staying is this is a Riad. So this is in Marrakesh. These top two on the left are in Marrakesh. And this is one of the rooms. It's inside this Riad. Here's the Riad, open interior. It's open all the way up to the ceiling. up to the sky. And the rooms are, you can see they're comfortable. They're not fancy by any means, but they're comfortable, and you have your own bathroom in each room. Tea is a real common thing in Morocco. This is mint tea. And here, this young lady who is also a college student, but she's a Moroccan local in the High Atlas Mountains. She is pouring tea for us when we visited her gîte, or her mother's and her dad's gîte, which is this gîte right here, where we could potentially stay. We didn't stay in this one, we just visited. And then here's our dinner out on the last night in a fancy restaurant in Marrakesh. We do a lot of eating on these trips and a lot of tea drinking. So here's some more eating pictures. Eating at the top in Marrakesh at a restaurant, eating outside the waterfalls on the way to the High Atlas Mountains, eating on a rooftop terrace in Marrakesh, and then eating in a tent, sitting on mats on the ground as we did our trek. So lots of different eating situations and just lots and lots and lots of food. No one ever goes hungry. And all these meals are provided for us as part of the package. So here's the Morocco Field Study program coming up for 2022, this next year. It's a 15-day program scheduled to be August 1st through 15th. And students have a choice to take 2 of any of these 4 courses. Now, the EDUC course is a pre-service teacher education course, and it requires a prerequisite of, I think, 1301. So if you're not a pre-service teacher, this one's not for you. But for those who are pre-service teachers, this is the one you'd sign up for. And then these other choices are available. So environmental science 1301, which for environmental science, environmental studies majors going to UTSA, this will count toward your UTSA credits as well as our credits and a science core credit. And then there's a social science core course, which is geography 1302, which is human geography. And then we have, if you don't need one of these courses, I've thrown in like a wild card class, if you will. This is an independent study course that we have on the books. It only counts as an elective, but since you have to have 2 courses, you could take, say, the EDUC 2301, environmental science 1301, or geography 1302, and then you could take the 2389 geography class. Independent study. The way independent studies work is that you and I, you as a student and me, we sit down and we put a study plan together for you while you're over there based on your interest and what will help you in your career field. And then we go do it within the realm of what we're doing in Morocco. So let's say you're a business major or an economics major or something like that. We might look at local ecotourism from an economical point of view in Zawiya Hansal, where the community we stay in. So that's the kind of thing we can do. It's flexible, it's open-ended, and we create our own activities, and I work with students one-to-one to make things happen. Now, this don't be sticker shocked by this price. There is, I think, ample amounts of scholarship funding available for this through the Gilman Scholarship, and then I found some more this morning. The Gilman Scholarship is something to apply for, as well as the College District International Scholarship. And then I found this morning a diversity and equity diversity scholarship, rather, that is for Morocco. And then I found a first trip abroad that is available to go to Morocco as well. So there's anybody who's never traveled abroad before, you can try to tap into those funds. Now, I can't see anybody, and I don't even know who's here. I'm going to stop for a second so I can see. There you are. Oh gosh, look at all these people who showed up. I'm just talking to a screen. I can't see anybody.
Oh, we're here.
What's going on? Okay, so Carla's there. My only student is still here. The rest is the Office of International Programs. Okay, I'll go back to it. So, well, let me ask first, Carla. I know you're still in class. Do you have any questions on this? Let's see if she's. Tell Adam to that you've been asked a question. You can tell Adam also he was featured. He was featured in the Morocco study room. Okay, I don't see any chat questions coming up, and she might still be busy. So let me go on with upcoming adventure science. She's going to rewatch the recording. Well, you know where, Carla, where to reach me. You know, I've been discussing this in class, so you know how to find me if you have questions. Okay, let me continue sharing screen, and we'll talk a little bit about going to Costa Rica. There goes everybody again. Okay, disappeared. Oh, wait. I wasn't finished with that yet. The result post Morocco science was this. So I was able to take some of the students who were wanting to do some extracurricular work and go present. We put together, well, they put together with my help really, a presentation of what they did in Morocco, the science they did at the SWAG conference in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And SWAG is an academic conference. It's the Southwest Association of American Geographers Conference. It's a regional geography conference. We got in one of the school vans and we drove over there, and students presented. Marcella here is presenting about our work, the Tagia Ahansal River profile. And here are the students who went. There's Farhana. Oh gosh, I can't remember her name. And Marcella. They all did a presentation. And we also, this is the cover of the report we did. And we wrote a manuscript for a journal, the Journal of Social Science Texts and Academic Research, that it's a peer-reviewed journal, and we're published in it now. So these students got a peer-reviewed journal article to their name, as well as a presentation, professional presentation. And they did it, they didn't do it in the student presentation section, they did it in the, with faculty members. So when Marcella and Farhana presented, they were sandwiched between a professor from the University of Texas and a doctoral student from Texas State University. And here they are, just community college students sandwiched in there with the professionals doing the work. It's the same level of work. You don't have to be a full, PhD to be doing good science. Anyway, so those are some of the outcomes of that were completely extracurricular, but these students got some really serious science analysis and writing and presentation skills out of it. So they can carry these on to jobs beyond the college. So this is really applied types of work that they're doing. Okay, now, oh yeah. So there's no sleeping going on, obviously, in this type of stuff. Okay, but wait, there's more.
What is the tower in the back of the picture with you and the ladies in it?
So there's a tower, it's at Louisiana State, and they have a tower kind of like they do at UT. They copied UT or UT copied them or something. I don't know. You know how larger universities really like these big tower things?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Thank you.
Not sure what that's why it's featured there, because it shows that we're on their campus, which is huge. It's like a UT. I mean, Louisiana State's flagship research institution. It's huge. Other questions? Just jump in like Renee did if you have others. Okay, wait, there's more. Here's where Costa Rica comes in. Okay, so these little dots you see all over the screen are crocodile eyeballs reflecting the light from spotlight. So I don't know how many there are there. I didn't sit and count them all. At least 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, at least 40, 30 maybe. Crocodiles floating around in this water. One of the things we're going to do at the next adventure science field study in, which is going to be in Costa Rica, is going to be a crocodile census. So counting crocodile eyeballs. So you're going to get there. We're not going to stand in the water to do this, obviously. And we're also going to do a stingray and bony fish census. And the only way that you can, see stingrays and bony fish is to get in the water with them. They don't bite. So we're going to have to get wet and, get a little salt water up our nose or whatever and do some snorkeling. We're going to go to Monte Verde, which is this here in the background. It's a volcano in kind of the northish, westish part of Costa Rica. And we're going to do some work with local communities there, as well as some data collection and study of permaculture. What's next?
Looks beautiful.
We're also, yeah, isn't that cool? I can't wait to go. I've not been to Monte Verde yet. Hopefully we'll get to go in January or sometime if COVID would settle down. We're also going to go to the Reserva Playa Tortuga, and that's right here on this right-hand side. And then the Isla del Caño is another conservation area we're going to go to. There's the sign on the outside, and here's what the kind of the beach looks like to do some more of the bony fish census. And this is the Tarabas Sierpe, Rio Tarabas Sierpe, from an aerial view, where we are also going to go and do some of the science work we're going to do here. This trip is scheduled for May 16th through the 21st. Now, these days are tentative at the moment. It's going to be shorter. It's not going to be 15 days like the other one in Morocco. It will be only 7. However, this is going to be attached to the end of Environmental Science 1301, Section 2. So this is a grant-funded program, and the grant is funding much of the cost of the trip, but the students are needing to enroll in this environmental science class. It's a regular 16-week class, and then we're tacking this travel part onto the end of it, if you want to look at it like that. So it's an extension of the class for only the 10 or so students who are going to go to Costa Rica. The rest of the people in class don't go, only the selected students. It has a COIL component to it, which is a collaborative online international learning component. And was that LaTanya? Huron back there? The COIL is going to be part of the Environmental Science 1301 class. And in fact, I was just working part of that out with my colleague in Costa Rica this morning. And then it is aimed mostly toward underserved students, which is a broad definition, but we're aiming to get more underserved students traveling. So underserved in this case, I think we're counting first time in your family to ever go to college students would be an underserved student. And the information will eventually be on the Alamo College District Study Abroad website. And the cost, we haven't quite narrowed that down exactly, but I think we were talking about around $500-ish or so. And again, there are scholarship funds available to help out with this entire thing. So Costa Rica is in Central America. It's a much shorter flight. There's no 5-hour layovers in a different time zone. We like straight shot down there. I think it should take us like 4 or 5 hours at the most. Anyway, that is the adventure science program that we do at Northwest Vista College, which is integrated with the Office of International Programs. And if you need to contact me, swalker6 is my email address. Carla, if you're still here, you know how to get a hold of me. And I'm going to stop the presentation and see who else has showed up. That's all the same people again.
Sorry.
All those same people again. So anyway, Yeah, Carla chimed in and said, you're welcome, Carla. And then Carla Alicia is, she keeps moving around on my screen. Alicia's gone. Alicia's there.
I'm here.
There she is. She's the one holding all the flowers or something in the the still picture. She is offering to help you write DST-study abroad at alamo.edu. DST